Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for supporting. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. While you're here, check out my shorts and check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Love you guys. Let's jump right into this video. This is going to be a cherry cola eyeshadow look, kind of like a play on a smoky eye. This is Black Radiance. This is a foundation stick that's darker than me. I'm going to be using it as contour. This is about 2 shades darker than my complexion, and I'm just carving out my cheeks, the outside of my face, and then under the jawline to create a more slim face. I'm also going to contour my nose. My nose is flat. And when you're doing contour on your nose, you want to make sure you're going on the top of the nose and not on the side. So it looks like the side kind of, but it's on top of my nose. And then go into that brow bone a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with some concealer. I love the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, especially if you're on a budget. It's a really good full coverage concealer that's economically priced. So this method I'm doing again is called underpainting, where you put all your contour and concealer on first and then go on top of it with a light coverage foundation, light to medium coverage. So with concealer, all you're doing is highlighting your face, areas of your face you want to be brighter, just highlighting with the concealer. And the concealer, again, like the contour, is about 2 shades lighter than your complexion. Now that we have the concealer placed, we're just going to set these wet products in with a Morphe setting spray. Not too much. Just enough to make the blending easier and to make it stay in place. So I'm using a flat, dense brush. I am doing more tapping than dragging, just a slight little drag to blend out this contour. And when you're doing the top, you want to blend it into the hairline so it looks natural. And again, tapping and just slightly dragging, not a lot of dragging. Now, typically to blend out the nose contour, you would want to get a smaller brush, but I'm being lazy, so I'm trying to use this same brush. It's not really working very well. You really need a smaller brush, but we're going to go on with that anyway. This is a Real Techniques concealer blending brush, and it does say that on the package. And you really want to blend around the edges, not so much in the middle, because you don't want to get rid of most of the product. So I'm kind of, if you can tell, going around the edges and not so much in the middle. Blend the under eye last so it has time to set and it gives you more of a full coverage under the eye. You guys have heard me say this a million times. The number one step, the most important step in makeup is blending. So I've blended all that with a brush. I'm going to go in with a beauty blender and make all the edges smooth, no lines, no creases. Blend everything out to a smooth finish. So now I said use a light to medium coverage foundation. This is Milani Correct and Conceal. My color is 11A. And so I'm going to put that on my hand to warm it up. You only need a little bit. Go in with that same beauty blender, Make sure you're tapping it out and then tap it out on your hand as well, so you only have a little bit on your blender, and go ahead and go over top the contour and the concealer. But you only need one layer of this, if that, one thin layer, and go over all of your makeup. Now that all of our liquid cream products are finished, we want to go in and set everything with powders. First, we're going to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and set the under eyes. We're going to set the forehead. We're going to set everywhere we put the concealer, we're going to set with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. And you only need a little bit. I'm tapping the excess off on my hand before applying to my face. And we're just going to let that sit in there. As y'all can see, I'm super oily, so I let my powder sit. Now let's start to warm the face up. My favorite contouring powder is the Juvia's Place Bronzer Duos in Dark. It has like a reddish brown tint to it. I do have red undertones, so this is perfect for me and gives me like a wonderful contoured, just bronzy look. I love it so much. So I'm kind of going on top of my jawline with the contour to lift my face. And I recommend doing that, not going under that brow bone, but going on top of it to give your face a lift. And just everywhere I put that Black Radiance foundation stick, I'm going over with the Juvia's Place Bronzer Duo. Now I'm going to prime my eyes. You can use an eyeshadow primer, or you can do like me, use the same concealer you used on your face and go ahead and just a little dot and prime your eyes with it. I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend that in. We're going to go in with Juvia's Place, the Warrior 2 palette. This is full of mattes. I love this palette. It's very beautiful. I'm taking this like burnt sienna color, and that is going to be the base color, the transition color, before we get into the black to smoke out the eye. So I'm just buffing this into my lid. Using that concealer is making this pigment pop. That's why you want to use a primer, whether it's eyeshadow primer or concealer, so you can use less shadow. It's already coming in very pigmented. You can make this as dark or light as you want. I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like that's enough. The main star of the show for me is going to be the smoke, the black shadow. I'm just using this red as kind of like a transition. I'm wearing all red today, so that's what it is. So I'm going to go in with this black with a flat brush. This is like a concealer brush, but this is going to give me control of the shape I want to do on the bottom. Kind of like a semicircle, and this brush is going to allow me to be more precise with it. So you want to build this black up slowly. You don't want to get too much on at first. You want to just kind of map out the shape and then build it up. So I'm gradually adding more and more pigment and mapping out the shape at the same time. You can see it's getting darker and darker as I'm creating the shape I want for the smoke part. So now we're going to take the same red that I applied first and just blend around the edges in a circular motion. I'm holding the brush further away from the front of the brush, so I'm using a very light hand to just blend this out. You see how sharp that line is, and I kind of want to soften it up a little bit. Now I'm going in with Revlon's Super Skinny Matte Liquid Eyeliner. It goes on wet like this, but it's going to dry into a beautiful matte, soft finish. I'm, of course, going to wing it out a little bit. This eyeliner is perfect for beginners because it's so skinny, so you can really fix any mistakes without making a mess of things. There really is no trick. You really just have to take your time with it. And you can always clean up the edges if you mess up with concealer. Now let's use our Lancome Idole Mascara. I love this wand. I love how the brush is to really, the curvature. You can really get each and every individual lash. Going in with my KKAO Beauty Blush, going right on top of that contour and up into the temple area, blending in an upward motion. I'm mixing a light pink and a red. Make sure you're tapping so you don't get all that fallout like I just did. Now, of course, we're going to take that same beauty blender we've been using all day and blend out the edges of this blush. Make sure you're blending the edges and not so much in the middle. You don't want to take off the product. Now the same shadows we used on the eyelid, we're going to go under the eye just to make it pop. Give it a little more depth and volume to this eye look. But instead of using the black, I'm going to use a darker brown to blend in with the red. Now I'm taking a gel eyeliner to my waterline to really solidify the fact that this is a smoky eye. And since my eyes are larger, this also makes the eyes appear smaller. Using a white liner or a lighter colored liner will open your eyes up. Black liners, brown, will make the eyes appear smaller. My favorite lashes to use are half lashes. You can get these on Amazon. This is my new go-to. They really lift the corner of the eye and they're just, I love the look they give my eyes. So this is now my new go-to. When you get them on, just pinch your lashes and the false lashes together with your fingers, or you can use a tweezer to make them look natural and blended. This is a multi-stick pencil from Wet n Wild in the brown, and this is like the perfect shade of brown to use as a lip liner. So this has been my go-to. It's nice and thick, and I just love this shade of brown. And it goes on so smoothly. For my brows, I'm going to keep it very natural, keep it very light. This is just going to be a fill-in in the sparse areas. So I'm just combing them to get them all going in the same direction. And then where they're thin, I'm just going to fill them in with the pencil to keep it as natural as possible. We won't be using any concealer to carve them out. I really want this brow to just look very natural, and it does. I love it. You can see the difference. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side, just a nice little light fill in with a pencil. Now this is NYX's brow glue in dark brown. This is going to set these brows in place. Just brush up in the direction of your hairs, and it's going to give them a nice smooth look. Now, of course, I have to use a red lip. This is Milani's. Matte Confidence is the name of the lipstick. It's a beautiful red, matches my shirt. I'm also wearing red pants. You guys will see the picture at the end. Now let's add some highlighter and we're almost done with this look. I'm using the Warriors palette, this nice champagne color. And I'm going to place this on my nose, the bridge of my nose, my cheekbones, my Cupid's bow, and blend it in. Also put some in the corner of my eye and on the brow bone. And give this a nice blend with a brush and a beauty blender. And now for the holy grail of setting sprays, the One Size On Till Dawn setting spray. I absolutely love it. Give it a test spray first. You should do that with all of your setting sprays. And then spray it all over. I'm going to use my fan to set it, and this look is finished. I love it so much. Thanks for watching. It looks natural. It's not too much product. And here's my bonus picture at the end of my full outfit. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. It don't take all that on Instagram. Stephanie Barnes on Facebook.